Hey, it's me again, yeah boy! Now last week we talked about a supposed leak that Crash Bandicoot is coming to Smash Bros. As the next fighter, after Byleth. Now there is no news on that front yet, and it could take a while before we learn more. But in the meantime, some more whispers have reached the internet about some interesting stuff by credible leakers. We can go over all of it, but that might take some time. And that's not why you are here, so let's jump to the most important piece, which was a tweet by Sabi, a well-known video game leaker, who had a lot of information on E3 2019 before it started that turned out to be correct. But the tweet that I want to talk about today is as following. Breath of the Wild 2 taking longer than anticipated back during E3 2019. So it doesn't seem to be this year's holiday release, which adds more credence to the major title I was referencing on a tweet the other day. Neither are set in stone yet, so take some salt. The more likely one has tires, which would go against the things that I predicted in my Nintendo 2020 video, because I thought we would get Breath of the Wild 2 this year. But okay, before we go any further, let me just remind you, these are just rumors and speculation. Anything can happen, so take everything with a huge grain of salt. Nothing that I talk about today is conclusive. So yeah, tires. That could only mean one thing, right? Mario Kart 9. And if you are doubting that they are talking about Mario Kart 9, if you scroll down a bit, another user started to talk about the years in which Mario Kart games release. To which Sabi responded, and pretty much confirming that it is the thing that they are talking about. Now let me show you everything that might point at a Mario Kart 9 release, and let's talk about the things that I would love to see in that game. Let's begin. Now, as I was saying in my Nintendo 2020 video, I talked about Breath of the Wild 2 being the big game of this year. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. As we know, there is one big Switch title for each year, and it most often releases at the end, around the holidays. We had Mario Odyssey for 2017, Smash in 2018, and Pokemon for 2019. There aren't that many titles that could fill up that spot, so to figure out what that game might be should be fairly easy. And I expected it to be Breath of the Wild 2, as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best-selling Switch game of all time, and to this day it is still selling rapidly. So I figured that they wanted to keep riding that bull for a while. But no, if these rumors are true, then we will probably get our next installment at the end of 2020. Which in some way does make sense. Deluxe is an upgraded version of 8, and that game released in 2014. So 6 years later could be about the time to get a new entry in the series. Especially when we look at what EPD Group 9 has been doing. For if you don't know, the EPD groups are development groups within or sometimes even outside of Nintendo, with each of them focusing on different projects. And EPD 9 are the ones that have been focusing on Mario Kart games since the GameCube. But what are the last things that they have worked on? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2017, ARMS also 2017, and lastly Mario Kart Tour 2019. But that game was made in cooperation with the mobile group and DENA. So what the hell have they been working on this whole time, if it isn't a new console Mario Kart game? Because like I said, there has to be a big boy game this year, and we don't know what that is yet. It could be Breath of the Wild 2 as I expected, and otherwise it could be Mario Kart. And while I do suspect we will eventually get an Odyssey 2, it might be too early for that. And your other options are Smash or Pokemon, but those were the spot fillers for the last 2 years. So that would be too soon. I don't know what else it could be, unless you are talking about some massive new IP. And you know what? Even that wouldn't be so far-fetched. You have seen with Mario Kart 8 and especially Deluxe that there is one thing that they really like doing differently. And that is adding characters and stages from other franchises. F-Zero stages, Link on a motorbike, Inklings, Isabelle, Villager. That's quite a lot. And most of this were all additions that came to be thanks to DLC or Deluxe. And I really wouldn't be surprised if they would follow that trend into the new game and get rid of the Mario Kart franchise entirely. Or at least transform it into a Nintendo Kart game. A Super Race Brothers Ultimate, if you will. It could really freshen up the format and bring something entirely new to the table. By which the game can be enjoyed for much longer with constant DLC for new characters and stages. I don't know where else they could really go with the classic format. I mean, you already can fly, drive on walls, go through water, and what's next? Race underground? I don't know. And remember, the leaker never said specifically Mario Kart, which adds to the mystery. Just tires. The Nintendo Racer would be the way to go. And I will not be surprised if that is what we're going to see this year. But again, friends, this is just speculation. A leaker can be credible, but it doesn't mean that everything that they will say is true. They could have the wrong sources or false information, so you never know. Keep an open mind and let's just see what comes our way. But now I want to ask you, do you think it's possible for a Mario Kart 9 or Nintendo Kart to release this year? Or do you expect it all to be false? And is that something that you would like to see? Let me know in the comments, as I really want to know what you have to say on the matter. If you are interested in Nintendo games and other video game content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I will tackle many more topics in upcoming videos. Many great other projects can already be found on my YouTube page right now. If you would like to keep the discussion going, be sure to join the XPref Discord as well. And if you're still here, why not drop a like to help your boy out? I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.